right, so man, so this is what a week. What a week. So, oh man, so you know, I've been on this fence about getting a Dano 6-string, especially since using the 12-string this past week. I had a Dano 6-string for years, and I ended up selling it to a client that, you know, she's a young kid, and her dad's like, can you just sell us a guitar while we're out here so she can start taking lessons? I was all right, she can have the Dano, so they took it. And anyway, I got one this week. I don't know, it wasn't the right one. Was able to dump it, trade out some stuff. Anyway, I went to another store that's a Dano dealer today. I kind of just went there. It didn't occur to me. And I went in there, and they had about 6 or 8 of these out. And really cool ones that I was looking at on the website, you know, like black and silver sparkle. There's also like a blue sparkle and all these. And I the first one I picked up was this, which they call it light purple. It looks like pewter. And as soon as I picked it up, it was just unbelievable. It just, the sound of it acoustically was just beautiful. It played great. Just immediately felt great. And I was like, oh, okay, well let me check out that blue sparkle one. And it was they were all great, but this was it. And what I did was, you know, the one thing that's weird about Danos, I don't know if you can see this, but the knob is really small. Everything's really small here. You can't put like the kind of strap locks I like. They don't fit on there. And so I usually cut the strap. Well, I ended up, I had a cut strap that I already was using on the 12-string. I put it on here, and they said, oh, these little Ernie Ball, like they're like $3, like little kind of like rubber washer things that just go over there and just locks it in. And it works perfect. So I did it on, I got a set of 4 of them, and then I also grabbed another strap and did the same thing on my 12-string. If anybody out there has never broached into the world of Danelectro guitars because they look like when I was a kid, you know, with the flexible flyer, I don't know what, not flexible, I think that was the ski, the sled, but they were like the little balsa wood like planes you would throw. That's what this feels like. It's balsa wood. But they're jamming, man. They're killer, and you'd be surprised how many great records they're on. I think it's all over Zeppelin 1. But anyway, yeah. So it's just into the P. Just money. Just money. can already tell it loves that Greer light speed, or the Greer loves it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's perfect. It plays so great. And it is ugly. You know what? It's not ugly to me now because I already love this guitar. Like as soon as I picked it up, I was like, it's just like, that was it. It was just money. So, hasn't been really a new guitar in a while, a long time. Probably, my buddy gave me that Forenza about a year or two ago. I don't even know before that. I got that Gretsch, the baritone. That's it. Everything else I've had forever. But this is it. It's going to be a staple. And then we come here. This is it. We're wrapping this video because I don't know, man. We're like on vacation. Like this morning was the first morning I can't remember when nobody had to get up and do anything. So this is, and the pewter, the 6-string, is called I guess NOS Plus, like a new old stock plus. I read a little bit when I was at the store, and it's just like a updated. It's not an updated. It's a better pickup that's more authentic than the standard ones they've been putting out the last number of years, and it's Korean made, which is supposedly better. Yeah, this is Korean made too. This is their 12-string. One thing about the Danelectros, it's not for like being in a band. I mean, you could, but you can't be toggling around during it because the middle position is just really loud. Like here's neck. Anyway, that's it. These are great guitars. And they're just I watched a show on the history of them. It was very interesting. The guy, Dan, I guess, was making pedals and got a deal with Sears. I think he started kind of in the late 40s, but this was now in the 50s with Sears. And they're like, hey, you want to make some guitars? And I think maybe these were originally the Silvertones. And he said, oh, okay, yeah, I'll make them. And then he didn't know anything about building guitars. It talked about him like, he said I just got a couple of books and just read them and just went down to the hardware store and grabbed some stuff, and that's exactly what I made. It hasn't really changed in 70 years. Same thing. It's exactly what I made the first day. And and that's where, like, sometimes, everything, sometimes the whole boutique thing is a trip, because so much of what made rock and roll great was garbage cheap gear. I mean, Voxes, musicians were poor. They weren't buying, boutique, $6,000, Paul Reed Smiths and, Two Rocks, and they were going on the road in, AC30s and AC15s and Danelectros and Silvertones and, old, amps that were just kind of junk, Telecasters, cheap. It was all cheap. So that's kind of some of the sound of it. And some of that gets lost when everything is like, it's the Bada Bingo wood with the roasted maple tuning machines, and we've got this special metal that we got off of Venus. And, all right, I get it. Jimi Hendrix didn't play a pre-CBS Strat. You ever see the meme of him? It's like him like this, and from behind of like him at like, Woodstock, like 200,000 people. Probably like the most definitive concert in the history of concerts is Jimi Hendrix at Woodstock. And the meme says, everybody would have really had a good time if his pedals were true bypass. Imagine if he did that. Imagine if he did Woodstock with a 12-string Nano. It'd be like... Just beautiful. I'm a happy dude. Peace.